There's a big problem that you encounter over and over as you try to sustain a lifelong workout habit. It's not the workouts themselves, actually, it's the scheduling. There's work, family, fatigue, errands, random obligations, unexpected phone calls. Today, I want to talk to you about a new kind of workout that I've developed over the last year. Now, when I say develop, that makes it sound purposeful or even scientific. But like most of the things I've come up with in this life, it's sort of evolved by accident, and it may not even be original. But that doesn't make it any less exciting to me. And because I came up with the approach, at least in my own mind, I get to name it. So as of right now, I'm considering calling them either TV workouts or zero lost time workouts. The aim is to build muscle with maximum convenience. Okay, let me explain the basic approach. For me, it started one day when I couldn't get to the gym. I was busy working on a proposal at home, but I didn't want to lose the momentum I had recently built up in my workouts. The specific exercise I started with was good old fashioned push ups. Since I couldn't get to the gym for my regular chest day, I thought I could replicate the effect of a few super heavy bench presses and flies by doing many lighter weight sets of push ups. By many sets, I meant 10 or more to failure. That required me to take rest breaks of 10 to 20 minutes between sets so that I would be sufficiently recharged before trying again. Using this approach at the gym would be very inefficient with all that rest time. Completing 10 sets of push ups with 15-minute breaks in between would take over 2 hours. But at home, all I did was pause my work for a minute, drop to the floor for a set, and then get back to work. As you may know, you get as much hypertrophy from doing low rep, heavyweight sets as you do from doing high rep, low weight sets. The secret is the effort expended on the last few reps as failure approaches. It turns out that was just as easy to accomplish on the floor of my office as it was on a bench at the gym. The big breakthrough for me, however, came when I began working on Bulgarian split squats. If you've ever tried them, you know how brutal they are. But in my opinion, there is no other exercise that develops the glutes and the entire posterior chain as effectively. One evening, I decided I would apply my high rep, low weight approach to my Bulgarian split squats. But instead of interrupting my work, I decided to do them while watching a hockey game. In case you don't know, the typical hockey game takes about 2.5 hours to play, which would be perfect for performing 10 sets with 15-minute breaks in between. By the way, that's the same time span for Major League Baseball and NBA basketball games, with NFL football games taking slightly longer, like about 3 hours. The first thing I noticed was that the Bulgarian split squats were more ergonomically comfortable at home. I've always struggled with balancing the rear foot on a hard bench, and it hurt. But when I rested that foot on a soft sofa seat, the cushioning felt so much better and allowed me to make micro adjustments to maintain my balance throughout the set. Anyway, it's not like every exercise will be more comfortable when done at home, but it can be interesting to see what new insights and opportunities emerge in a different environment. Anyway, the results were better than I could have hoped. I know I've done a good job on a glute exercise if I let out a silent scream at some point when I sit down the next day. Yes, I know pain isn't the best measure of exercise effectiveness, but I just happen to respond best to that kind of reinforcement. Because I have a bench and some simple dumbbells at home, I started expanding beyond just split squats. I can now do serious work on my pecs, delts, lats, biceps, triceps, and all the lower body muscles using this approach, and all while watching a game without interruption. That's why, in addition to calling them TV workouts for the obvious reason, I also think the name Zero Lost Time Workouts fits. If you spend any significant part of your day watching sports or movies or binging shows or YouTube videos on your TV, you can work in these exercises without taking any time away from how you've chosen to spend your time. And these aren't just second best make do exercise sessions. I do half my workouts at home now while watching TV. One thing it's shown me is that a lot of exercise fatigue is not purely physical. It's the feeling that your entire being is about to be consumed by effort at the gym. But if the effort is diluted across 3 hours of entertainment, it seems to me that your brain experiences it differently. Anyway, I'm not presenting this as some revolutionary fitness protocol. I'm honestly sure versions of this idea have existed forever. But I do think I accidentally discovered a system that fits adult life unusually well. In fact, I think this would have been great when I was a dad of young kids, when a big part of my job was just to be there as an on-site supervisor and occasionally administer first aid. So maybe that's the real goal, not finding the perfect workout, but finding one that can survive reality. Anyway, thanks for spending this time with me today. This is 60 Someday.